Right, so then guys, we've just done at the Tonedale Mills. We've driven about 15-20 minutes away. We're now at the site of RAF Culmhead, which is a World War II airfield. A lot of the buildings are still there, including the control tower, which is quite a big building, and that's going to be where we're headed first. And then after that we might check out some air raid shelters and things like that if we can get to them. Lovely, that is nice. Never seen one of those.
It's the firing guard.
Yeah, it's locked in place, but awesome.
Yeah.
There we go. That is really rare to find in a pillbox affair. You've got this table for a bipoded light machine gun, I'd imagine. Bren or Lewis gun, or Browning automatic rifle is what the Home Guard had. And then you've got the loophole here. And it seems like this whole thing would have lifted up for viewing. And then when you're actually fighting, you put it down and you just slide this little one up in the middle to shoot out of. Yeah, something.
Hook it up there, I think.
Hook of some kind.
You swing it up and hook it up.
Yeah.
If you look, it's got a swivel here that you've got to hook on there.
That makes sense.
Swing it up, hook it on there, so it's out the way.
That's it, so it's just to like keep the shutter open, isn't it? Mm. But yeah, that's cool. Another pillbox. Doesn't appear to have anything else of interest from this side. It's got one of the loophole covers, but that seems less intact than the other one.
You want to stand up?
Again, the entrance.
Yes, I'm willing to. I can actually stand up straight this way. Yeah.
So over there we've got a herd of cattle. We don't want to disturb them. Let's hope to hell there's no bulls in there, but I think we're fine. They seem to be quite chill. So we've got some buildings here. On the left we've got a building in front of us. Behind it there's the parachute store, and down there there's something else, but I'm not sure what these buildings were apart from the parachute store, which we're going to look at later. Yeah, so that's just the toilet block. This over here is the parachute store. Right, there we go.
I think maybe try the other end.
Yeah, it's literally just a mud bath in there. So that's the parachute store, and it's got chimney that's fallen down or something inside, and it's got little dividers, pens. It was not obviously built as a very permanent building. It's an asbestos roof and brick sides, so I suppose it's just basically a shed, but the fact that it was used for preparing the parachutes for the plane, the pilots should I say, makes it of quite interesting historical significance. Right, huge great door, it's padlocked. Not sure if that's a modern edition, but again I think it's just some kind of outbuilding. Nothing too interesting. Look at that. It could be some sort of observation room, couldn't it?
Well, yeah, it's at the back. It looks like an incinerator, maybe, or coal house, maybe.
Yeah, or generator. Then again, it looks like it's got these sort of windows in there, very purposeful. Yeah. Right. Someone left the gate open. There we go, locked her up. Now we're heading over to the Airfield control tower, probably the most impressive of the buildings here. And that is basically where people would have looked out across the airfield and controlled and directed what was going on inside there and across the field. Now it looks like it's got a boat propped up outside it, which is very strange. No idea why that's there, but for some reason it's got here. Interesting though, and it looks like it's wide open. Look at that. So as Jay's pointed out, there is a motor in the middle of the boat. I'd imagine it was motorised at one point. I think it's seen better days now though. And right next to it is the control tower itself. Let's have a look inside. Whoops. Very slippery that is. There's the stairs. Here we are inside. Awesome stuff. I think we might need a torch for some of this. Original paint on the doors and the walls. It looks like the roof has collapsed there in part. No idea what all that burnt leather is. Looks like leather straps and stuff. Right, I've got the torch out now, so we're going to have a look around. Now you can see it's collapsed in places. Holes in the ceiling are dripping water through, and that has caused the floor to actually give way by the looks of things, unless that hole was already there. Got another room. Nothing of interest in here, to be honest. They've got this big room at the back. Again, part of the ceiling's collapsed from water dripping through, or whatever's caused it. A lot of rubbish on the floors come through there. Some sort of table over here. Cupboard. Maybe a generator or boiler would have sat in there at one point. And again, the windows are all boarded up in here. Another room in here. Some sort of cabinet that looks modern to me. It's got the 3-prong plugs, so it's definitely not original. Look, you've got paint on the walls, white on the top, green on the bottom. Got the boat out there. Interesting place. Another room here. Ceiling sort of dips down, something above. Nothing of interest again. Probably a toilet, this. Yeah, this would have been a toilet, I think. Under the stairs. Interesting little detail. Right, next we're going to have a look up the stairs. See what's up here. There we go. Quite cool. That's where we've just come from. Now we're up here. I've got sort of main room. See where the floor's collapsed in the corner. Does look like it's quite damaged structurally, actually, this bit. Moving through, we've got another room. Not much of interest in here, to be honest. And then we carry on to this main room. I mean, it's nice and spacious. That is a great view. We've got this weird sort of chimney thing in the middle. Looks like it's got a lid in there, which is now fallen in. But I suppose that must have been something for ventilation or chimney, something like that. Look at that, you've got these big old, what are they called? Crystal windows, is it? There's loads of them all the way around. Very cool indeed. And then looking out here on this sort of ledge, which I'm not sure how secure that is, considering it looks like it's tilted slightly. You've got the boat down there, steps going up. Unfortunately the steps to the roof are all long gone, so we can't actually get onto the very roof, but it's still cool. So I think that's the control tower done now. Ready to go, guys?
Yeah, good.
Oh, there they are. Right. Head off, I think, to check out the fighter pens and the air raid shelters over the other side of the site now. Hopefully we can actually get to them. Right, so at the moment we're walking through some fields to try and get to where the fighter pens are that would have protected fighter planes at RAF Culmhead from bombing and attack. There's some air raid shelter tunnels in there as well to check out. But yeah, unfortunately we've had to take quite a detour to go through the fields to actually get up to the site. But it is a public footpath, so you know, it's all legit so far. So this here is actually a Blister hangar. We saw a few of those at RAF Bradwell Bay back at home. And these would have been hangars used to store fighter planes, I believe. So you've got the hangar there for the planes, and then to the left, which we're going to look at next, is a fighter pen, which was designed to protect the plane and the crew from an air raid on the airfield. So we've got the Blister hangar. Now look at that vehicle. It looks sort of military. Judging by the sort of heavy duty nature of that, it looks almost armoured. But why on earth it would be here now, I really don't have a clue. It's got some sort of massive tank in the base of it.
Quite a modern design, though.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, if it is military, then definitely has nothing to do with the original airfield. Looks like some sort of fuel. Maybe it's just armour to protect the fuel. Maybe it's just a civilian sort of vehicle, but it's armoured to protect whatever's in these canisters. Could be sort of volatile gases or liquids or something. Well, someone's plane. Jesus Christ. Oh, look at that. Right, that's just the edge of this place. It looks like the hangar they've actually brought it in, yeah, on the side.
Yeah, got a nice looking set of fuselage in there though, which
Really?
I guess is what this is for.
Yeah, that would make sense. So you think that's fuel for the plane, or to tow the plane?
Well, no, looking at it, it's like a glider.
Cool, alright. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, look, so the hangar's still being used. I mean, yeah, it's a small, either a glider or a plane of some sort, but it's very small. It's nothing like the fighter planes of World War II, but it is still being used for a similar purpose. And it's probable that the vehicle there was to tow it's been used to tow the plane or the glider up to here, and maybe to fuel it. No idea. So this here is a fighter pen, and basically I think the pilots of the planes, if there's an air raid happening, as the pilots were just landing at the airfield, they'd quickly rush into the shelter here. And I do believe that the pen I'm standing in, amongst the earthen banks, are actually where they'd park the planes, I suppose, if there wasn't any space in the hangar. And the people could obviously hop out and jump straight in the shelter, and the mounds themselves would protect the plane to an extent from blast. In we go.
Big section down here.
Really?
Yeah. Come get a load of this. I'll hold up the light and you can film it.
There we go.
Come down here.
Awesome. So that is, with that ribbed concrete, what they call a Stanton shelter. But the Stantons usually, they're not built into like a pen like this, but they're usually just sort of standalone, but it's quite cool. There's the exit, I suppose. So it sort of goes round in a loop basically, or into a sort of C shape. There we go. So all this is the earthen bank, and then in the middle you've got a sort of Stanton type air raid shelter for the crew to shelter in.
Well, it's for bombing, it's a shelter.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is your plane's up there,
Yep.
and you and your crew are getting your plane ready. And if the bombers are coming in, you rush down here, you hunker down there for hour, half hour, however long it takes.
Right.
Yeah,
You come up and you hope to find your planes in one bit.
Okay.
that's it. So in the shelter here, sort of the roof steps down here, and it leads out to the back, and you've got a loopholed wall, basically a pillbox. Awesome. They are very rare. Let's go and have a look. Guys, there we go. Loopholed wall. So it's basically what the pillboxes would have done, a rifle or machine gun firing position, but rather than building a whole hut, they've literally just built a reinforced wall. And I suppose that would be to defend the airfield if it actually got attacked by German paratroopers or invaders that actually physically landed here to attack the airfield. There it is from the outside. Just looks like a big old pillbox, but it's got no roof and it's very, very long. I mean, how many holes have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 firing holes, so you'd have quite a few people here shooting. And back out, and that's the entrance to the shelter in there. What is that? If a vehicle did drive over this, then, well, unless they had monster trucks in the 1940s, you know, it could be some sort of armoured vehicle, but I think that's quite unlikely. Maybe it wasn't sort of for vehicles at all, it could have been for who knows what else, something to do with the planes and the pilots. Maybe this was added after the war, who knows. It's another fighter pen. Looks like it's of the same design as the other one, doesn't it? Obviously I've got these containers in there now. And a portaloo. No idea why. Yeah. Don't know what this is, but actually I reckon this was another one of those firing walls, because you can see all the shells that have been knocked down there, and this would have been up higher, I think, like another pillbox defending the pen and the crew. Imagine that. Oh, that's like a proper entrance this time. So I'm guessing the other one filled up with earth, because that's obviously a lot, a much wider exit. Still got the fuse or something. The lighting, I suppose that must have been. But there's no loophole wall on this one. I'm guessing it was either knocked down, or this one had the loophole wall on the other side, as we've just seen, instead of the rear. another kind of building here. These sort of pens. What do you reckon these might have been? So then guys, I think we're going to call it a day now. Yeah, it's been brilliant. We've seen tons and tons of stuff. We saw the Tonedale Mill, also the RAF Culmhead, and that was great. I mean, there's so many bits of the airfield still here in such an isolated area, unlike a lot of the airfields back home in Essex and stuff, which are a lot more redeveloped. So I think we're going to leave it at that. But thanks for watching. Remember to like the video, but more importantly, subscribe to us, Beyond the Point TV, and also check out beyondthepoint.co.uk, our website where we post all the photographs and some more detailed information about the history of these places. So, see you later guys. Tune in for the next video. Right then.
You know, working at 8:30 till 6 third year of uni.
Mate, like, stick fights ain't dead, you know, just remember that.
Run, rabbit, run, 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 run.